Alrighty, so this video is going to be serving as a little bit of a prelude, a bit of a hint or a teaser for the beginner's guide that will be updated, right? We're going to do another long, like hour-long beginner's guide for 2025, but I am waiting a little bit when it's a bit closer to the 10th anniversary. But today, just working more on the schedule of videos for the rest of the week, we're going to be doing some beginner tips and tricks that I think all players should know in order to progress their Dokkan account as quick as possible. So, the first thing that I want to do is how can we navigate the menus as quickly as possible in order to progress characters, do all those things without having to go back and forth in between menus. Now, this one is very, very simple. We go to the team, we go to the character list, or even the growth tab. Here is all the different panels that we can look at in order to progress our characters as quickly as possible, right? If you want to do a specific thing with a character, what we can do is go to that character, hold down on them, and then go to the growth button, and then there's a whole bunch of things that we need to do, right? So rather than interacting, going back out to the hidden potential menu, we can go from here to the hidden potential menu, right? We can do that. It's much quicker than doing all of this, going to here, right? Then having to find the character again. All we have to do is hold down on the character, and that is going to bring us over to all of the different options that we could potentially do in order to sort of do what we need to do. There we go. That is going to be the first tip. Let's move on to the next one. The second tip that I want to give you guys is make sure that you're always checking specifically who is featured on a banner before you summon. Sometimes these banner arts can be really good looking. You can be like, oh my god, there's so many characters that I want on this banner. But sometimes what they'll like to do is make it real nice looking at the front, right? Real appetizing, real like, oh yeah, I gotta summon on this. And then what they do is they sneak some characters in that you don't want to pull, right? So let's press the featured button, right? If you guys don't know, there's a little scouter on the top right of every single banner that has eligible featured characters, and there's going to be a list that displays rates and stuff like that, or there's rates right here, but we're also going to have a featured list. Now, what usually like a rule of thumb, the more circles down here, most of the time, the worse off you are. Now, you might be thinking there's more characters for you to collect, but it's going to dilute the pool of featured characters that you can potentially pull when you get a specific animation. Now, here we go, right? So Beast Gohan is on this specific banner. We have Broly. It doesn't really matter, but you just want to check, right? So it's like, right here's like the cutoff, right? You see like Blue Goku and Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you're like, oh my god, these are so cool. And then it's like, it hits you like a sack of bricks, right? Topo is good, but not the most hyped character. 17 and 18 are good, but not the most hyped character. This Gohan is good. He's more of a meme than anything else, but Ultimate Gohan is cool, right? Future Gohan is cool, not very good. This Gogeta is cool, not very good. This Broly is cool, not very good. So on and so forth, right? So keep that in mind. You always want to make sure that you are checking every character that is on a banner before you summon, so that way you can justify a decision to summon or not to summon. So there you go. That's the next tip. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. The next tip I want to give you guys is a quick heads up about how quest mode works. If you are just starting the game now, what you want to make sure that you are doing when you are clearing out quest mode is make sure that you are playing them on the hardest difficulty possible for each run. So if we go down here to where it says no rewards, it doesn't really matter, right? We'll go to area 2, it doesn't matter, right? So we go down here, and then what we want to do is press the Z hard option, because it is going to always count the clears for both of the other difficulties under it if you clear on the hardest right away. So you guys can see there's clear rewards right here of Dragon Stones. We are going to get 3 stones and for only having to play it once rather than having to play it 3 times over, you know, on normal, on hard, and on Z hard. Some of you might be returning players just looking for like general tips when you're playing the game, and this is going to be one of them. You no longer have to play the quest mode 3 times. You can just do it, you know, you can just play it 1 time and you're going to get full credit for, you know, clearing the stage as you would 1 time, right? So there you go. The next tip that I want to give you guys is going to be the 3 beginner teams that you could potentially farm up. We're not going to get into too much on the specifics on these. There are guides on the channel for all 3 of these teams, but I want to specifically pinpoint where you're going to be able to unlock these 3 teams. So the first one is going to be in the panel missions. When you open up the game, there will be a beginner thing. You literally just want to walk through that and let the game sort of you'll see what I mean when you go in, right? The game will literally just tell you what to do. It's going to walk you through it, and you're going to have a free-to-play Saiyan Saga team. I don't know if I have a copy of it here. I don't, but I will show you. The Saiyan Saga team, if we go right here, it's going to give you this Goku and then these 5 characters right here, and that is going to be the first team that they give you. Now, below that, you guys can see there's a Ginyu Force team that you're going to be getting for free as well. If you go into the event tab and then we go over to the growth section of the event tab, and we go down here to gain you for special training, play all these events over and over and farm these characters up. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there will be a guide on the channel. And then the third team is going to be a Team Bardock team that gives you an LR Team Bardock. It's literally going to be the same exact process. So these are the 3 beginner teams that are going to help you get started, and that is sort of, you know, the best advice that I can give you, right? Getting these 3 teams is going to help you progress in the game a whole lot quicker, because you're just going to have teams that can clear out some of the easier events or some of the mid-difficulty events, right? That are going to be able to allow you to get more stones, light a summon, therefore recruit more characters, because we all know collecting more characters in this game is always going to be good. So that is the next tip. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. The next tip I want to give you guys is going to be talking about boost rates for specific item drops. Now, what you're going to see when you go in here, if we go to any event that has a boost category, this is going to allow us to farm up things quicker. I have not done this event yet, but if we go right here, we can look and see what the boost stage is, right? So if we go to the effect button, you can see right here, effect of the selected team, and if we select a Resurrected Warriors team, what we can do is filter that in, and if we go to, the first thing you want to do is find out how many LRs you have on there. So if we do something like this, it doesn't really matter how we set this up, but if we do something like this, and then we filter that out again, and then we select 2 more Resurrected Warriors, you guys will see that the percentage of the bonus drop rate is going to go up to 225%. So that is going to be extremely helpful for us in order to sort of bolster the amount of rewards that we are getting when we are farming up stages. This is super important for farming up free-to-play characters, farming up items, for farming up other things. It's going to be extremely important for us. So that is one thing we always need to make sure we are focusing on when we can. We want to use bonus drops on stages where we are farming up items, characters, etc., etc. This is going to save you a lot of time. And one other thing while we're here, this is a little more advanced, but if you could potentially equip a support memory, which is going to enhance that boost rate drop even further. So it's going to help us get as many items as we can as quickly as possible. So this is going to be really big and really important for us moving forward. But let's go ahead and get into the last tip for today's video, and this one's going to be really important. Last but not least, the final thing I want you guys to leave this video with, one of the more important aspects of the game, is going to be link leveling your characters. Now, I have a whole guide again on the channel. I cover everything here, so there is a guide specifically for focusing on link leveling, but to kind of give you the Cliff Notes version, the speed run version, if you will, right? We're going for the any % world record guide. Links are going to help us enhance our characters even further. You guys can see here, big bad bosses. If we max this out, we're going to be getting an additional 25% attack and defense, and this one is super overpowered. So whenever you pull new characters that you want to use, you want to go over to the quest mode, Dokkan story, go to chapter 6, area 35, stage 6. Put on, you don't want to put on a boost if you want, you don't have to. This is going to double the link level rate as well as the items you get, and this is going to help you sort of link level up your characters as quickly as possible. You want to go in here, let it run on auto, and just continue to replay it. Now, it is very tedious, but it is going to help us bolster our best characters in order to get them where they need to be as quickly as possible. So there you have it, a bunch of beginner tips for you guys that I wish I knew when I was starting the game. I wish that I had when I was starting the game. I started playing, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, so the game didn't really have all these things at our disposal, but we now have them, so it is very helpful, and I want to make sure that I share the information with you guys. So good luck on your Dokkan journey. I will be giving a more in-depth sort of guide for this in the future, but for now, I just want to do a tips and tricks video just to get you guys where you need to be to get started, and then I will have a more enhanced guide when the year turns, right? So good luck. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy today's video, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.